I'm on the fives.
On the fives.
Only on the fives?
Right.
Yeah, we're on the fives. Though. You know what you said every time, right? Every five.
Yeah.
25.
What's the best way to
35.
45.
He was from the 25th episode, the 30th, 35th, 40th.
So every 5.
And then the next one he'll be in person will be the 50th.
Yeah. That's a big one.
And I think that's
a big one. I like that one. Hey!
Your attention, please.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go! How do you do? Mighty pleasant greeting.
When hinges creak in doorless chambers.
Space Mountain.
Yo ho, yo ho.
This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hey, everybody!
Hi! Sorry, we were just chatting.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of...
Didn't see you come in.
Did
we start already? See you there.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay.
Hi,
everybody. Hi.
Welcome to episode 46. So, 45.
We were just talking about it, Jonas. You messed it up already.
Mousetopia ENT.
Welcome back, guys.
Yeah, last episode was a year ago, so welcome back.
But you know what's funny? Like, I already feel the energy change from the freaking the video podcast to this one already. I already feel the energy.
So you just released the last one we did.
Just released it.
The fucking COVID special.
The COVID.
It was just, no, good, because like
From 2020?
Well, no, because I made a comment how a lot of podcasts started like that before, where they were all Zoom podcasts and not in person and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we'd never done one. And
Tony wanted to do one.
I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked out. I didn't watch it yet.
But this guy left and never came back.
Yeah. He was
Dropped
I'm
out.
at 3% battery, guys.
He was talking to us from Costco.
Oh my
He
God.
like pushing his cart and shit, and just like, I can't talk too high.
Oh, yeah,
guys.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
like
can't
so
laugh.
nice.
I can't mess around.
Yeah, so, DC Comics. Oh, I need this toilet paper.
Bread. Ezekiel bread.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then, like,
I couldn't be myself. That's how it
yeah,
is.
and then he was literally like, I have about 1% of battery, guys, so if I disappear, then I'm sorry.
He disappeared for the last like 70
No, I
minutes.
actually just try to take myself out, but I felt like after I took myself out, for some reason it says I ended the podcast or I ended the recording,
okay.
and I'm
What happened is that it got really serious for a while. Not even kidding. We got into like a whole mental health thing about
Really?
Yeah, and
because before I
started
left,
talking about boobs again. And
because before I left,
Boobs
we
are
were
always
talking
the
about
boobs
You know.
always make me happy.
when I was there, we were
Good for
talking
mental
about how this guy.
Well, that's how we
is doing
started.
great. Yeah, that's how we started.
That's how we started.
You know,
Yeah, this
that's
guy
how
and
it
his
started.
and his weight loss, but
Inspired by this guy.
Oh my
Inspired by this guy.
the last time you were on camera was Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween.
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 And I'm trying to think back to how you looked on Halloween, and you were dressed in Waldo, so we really couldn't tell. But fucking stand up.
All right.
Just do this. Holy
that, dude.
shit!
Yeah, I
All
don't-
right.
I'm
Is there
a whole new
applause right
person.
here?
See, side profile. The wife says that she's happy because she can actually get her arms all the way around me now.
I was happy I got my arms around him.
So yeah,
Dude, it's so
I've-
awesome. We're so proud of you,
I've
man.
lost pretty much a whole person, 137 pounds total.
Yeah.
So-
And again, it's hard work. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of, even to this day, we were eating before we started this.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he was like, I could eat 3 chicken wings.
2.
He got through 2.5.
And then that was it.
I
It's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So on your front, you started attending the classes
I
to
started
prep
attending
you.
the classes myself. I did a lot of the pre-lab stuff today. You might know that better than I do. It's okay. So esophagus, esophagus. It's not where they do like an X-ray, but like a movie
I thought it was
X-ray.
like-
Oh,
or
it's like a little pill that they have you
Well, they had
swallow.
me drink. They had me
Yeah.
drink a liquid, which is disgusting as
It's
hell. It tasted
berry.
like Sprite with Pop Rocks almost
No.
because it was weird. But then you take it, and then it's supposed to. I think it's supposed to expand your stomach, so they get a better look at it. And then the guy's all like, "You're not supposed to burp." I'm like, "Damn it! I wanted to burp so bad." That's what makes you do. It inflates your inside. And then I don't want to be all gross, but
No,
we
no,
are.
no,
Please do.
Mousetopia.
Please describe it the way that you described it to me earlier.
So
Please
there's
tell the
this
audience.
liquid that they ask you to drink, and this liquid is very yogurt-like, very thick.
And why did it come out of his dick? I just have to cut to the chase. I have to go straight there.
Perfect.
Fuck it. We're not gonna.
Perfect.
This is Mousetopia.
Yeah. And no, guess what he said? He said, take a mouthful, hold it in your mouth,
The following
and
content
swallow.
is not suitable for younger listeners.
It was disgusting, guys. I really almost threw up in my mouth. Man. It was disgusting.
Wait a minute, he's not a medical professional.
He's runs away. Like, no.
Can't catch me. Enjoy your weight loss journey. Bye.
Oh man, I left there. It was just.
Tony, did you blow someone else? He said it was
I pulled an Eric just to try to get an autograph. That's all I did. I pulled an Eric to get an autograph.
Did you get an autograph?
I didn't.
So it wasn't even worth
It
it.
wasn't even worth it, guys. It wasn't even worth it.
Oh, we just went fucking 0 to gross.
So
See, this all happened because you said I don't want to be gross. I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get fucking gross.
I think the only cool part about it, not about what happened, but so I'm on this table that has like kind of like a stepping stool that you stand on, and it's on your, it's your back's against the wall. And they're all right. Like we did their first test, and I had to do it laying down. So I thought, okay, I had to get off, and then they're gonna lay it down. But no, like they left me on it, and they pulled the reverse Darth Vader, and it's like,
Oh, the tilt table.
But yeah, it was. That's the only cool part that happened through this whole ordeal. Yesterday, I did an upper ultrasound. No, I'm sorry, a lower ultrasound, as well as like X-rays for my chest and my back. So they're getting the prep work done.
Yep.
I'm gonna meet the doctor. I did my orientation today. I did it in Spanish because the English one was like 3 weeks away. So I was like, oh no, let's get this shit done. I know how to speak Spanish. I understand
Yeah,
what they're
we're
fucking
done.
saying.
We're done. Yeah.
Plus, I've been through this rodeo before. I've been through so many of these because I've been trying since 2015 to get this shit done. And so now I'm just waiting to get the doctor's appointment with the doctor. I'm gonna call on Monday because I said all these things had to happen first before I can do that. And then we get a timeline. We get a frame of like what they want me to do still.
So as far as like how much
Yeah,
more
like maybe
weight to lose,
I have a feeling that he's gonna probably still ask me, even though I lost the 80 pounds that I did. He's probably gonna ask me, hey, you might have to lose another 40, another 50, which is fine. It's doable. I'm ready to do it for the challenge. Whatever they need me to do, just so I can get to that spot where I can be like, okay, let's do it. Let's get this out of the way. Of course, I think the only thing I'm always been scared of is I've never been under anesthesia before.
That's fine though.
It's fine.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. I was actually just talking to Jonas's wife and director Isabel about this. My brother had the surgery as well. Shout out to my brother. He had it on November 4th, and he had never been under either. And like a couple of days prior, he started getting cold feet, and I was like, dude, seriously, that was his worry. He's never been under, and I told him, it's honestly, you're gonna go in there. They're going to talk to you for a little bit, and you're going to close your eyes, and then instantly, when you open them up, you're back in recovery. It's
so weird.
I've been
Instant.
under twice, once for appendectomy and once for my wisdom tooth taken out, and it's always the same process. Okay, count back down from 10, 9, and then I wake up coughing up blood. Like that's what happened when I got my appendectomy. They were like, okay, 10, 9, and I woke up, and they were like, the nurses were all over me. Oh, calm down, you're okay, you're it's all done. I was like, oh shit.
Dude.
And then when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, they said count down from 10.
Yeah.
And it's the weird. This is so like perfectly in my mind. I remember I count down from 10, and then all of a sudden I climbed into a clock, and then was crawling through a bunch of clock innards like gears and stuff.
Oh shit!
And then I woke up. Like I had this weird fever dream of me crawling through a clock, and then I woke up. I'm like, your surgery's done.
That's
It's fun.
And
It's just like your
is,
brain just shuts off, and
it
then
shuts
you
off.
just
And
then
the
you
funny
just
thing is,
restart it right
for
back.
me, when I had two surgeries, I had my gallbladder taken out, and both times that I had surgery, when I started to wake up in recovery, I asked somebody who was there, what time is it? And
Yeah.
they told me, oh, it's so-and-so time. And in my head, I started calculating. I said, okay, I went into surgery at this time.
It's been 4 years.
It's been this many hours.
since you were.
And I'm calculating. I was like, okay, so the pain medication probably should be wearing out at this time. And when I'm starting making calculations, I'm starting to think, okay, well, if I can calculate all that stuff, then my brain is working. I'm good. I'm good. I'm coming out of it, so I'm good.
Don't worry, Tony. You only wake up once during operation.
Don't scare me. I do not want to wake up during the
You
operation.
gotta worry about, just worry about all the people looking at your dick. That's the only real worry about being put under.
Let me see.
Your guy's gonna
Stop touching! Stop touching!
Yeah. With me, it
You'll be
was
powerless.
I would be powerless for a few hours, man. That's crazy.
he wakes up with like dollar bills in his underwear. Oh,
And a little paper that says, call me.
I like how all these medical professionals are talking about sexual abuse from medical professionals.
Seriously. What the hell?
Only to Tony.
Yeah, just Tony.
Just Tony, guys.
All right. Well, okay, let's get back on track. So, what have you been up to?
So last time we talked, we were talking about me training this guy.
Yeah, and we've been
That was
seeing
like
it.
a week ago or something.
Yeah, but it's like a
still the same
nonstop thing.
Yeah, it's a nonstop thing. And again, he's been going by himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna do something right now. No, but you lost like what, like 80 something pounds already?
Yeah,
And
about 80 pounds.
I'm like really, really proud of him, guys. Like really proud of him because
course, yeah.
he's been going by himself, and then it feels like
He's
he found
committed.
the joy,
Yeah.
into working out.
You
And that's
know-
one
you
thing
notice-
that I really wanted for him is like for him to enjoy it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
endorphin.
Right.
Yeah.
And you notice that when you start going to the gym and you make it a routine, you actually start planning everything around when you can go to the
Yeah,
gym.
exactly.
You're like, okay, if I do this and I can go to the gym on this day, on this time, and this time.
Like the thing that I was telling Eric is, Eric's staffing. It's like, okay, I have to work it out where it's like, okay, I could work these days overtime, but then these other days I'll go to the gym. You know what I mean? So I know that I can make it in. So that's why I've been trying to do that as much as I can, so I don't lose track, because I feel like
Yeah, he's really committed.
I don't
'cause
want to lose it. I'm in
Yeah.
a good
I mean,
road right now.
There's days where I try to tell him, like, hey, bro, can you
Are
do
you going to
some-
the gym today?
Yeah, no, can you
Are
do
you
some
going to the
overtime for me? I'm like, no, I got to go to the gym. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
Just
I gotta go.
testing you.
I gotta go today. I gotta go to the gym. Yeah.
You're
So I try.
Hey, is Tony coming in? No, he's going to the gym.
going to the
But
gym today.
he's going to the gym, Michaela.
Shout out to the peeps at work that actually do kind of like, when they say, oh, you're doing overtime today? No, I'm going to go to the gym. Oh, good job, Tony. I think Alex is one of them. Alex goes to the gym. Alex, definitely shout out to you.
Which Alex?
Tall Alex?
Tall Alex.
Okay.
Yeah. You do, and we're talking about him. We don't even know what he looks like underneath the shirt, but he's pretty buff, dude. He's a pretty tall guy. I don't know. He goes to the gym. He's giving me some pointers. Just I guess how you said, the endorphin rush. People know the difference. People have seen the difference. It's nice to know. People at the gym that I don't even know will come up to me and say, hey, you know what? We appreciate the drive and the motivation, and we see your changes, and good job. So it's always like, it's nice. It's nice to know. And I don't do it for that. I've been doing it for myself ever since, last year we talked about the little scares that I've had, and my leg issue and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to get sick again. And those 2 years in a row really just enlightened me and said, hey, you know what, dude? That's why we're all doing this together. That's why Guapo did it. That's why I did it. And Guapo has so much to live for. He has his son, his wife. Everything's going amazing. We don't want to lose that. Exactly. Same thing with me. Not to get all sappy, but there's a lot of things like
Get sappy.
Get on going to talk to yourself with my friends and stuff like that.
Talk to yourself right now.
No.
Talk to yourself right
We
now.
talked about it last week.
Yeah,
when we
go ahead.
came back from
Talk
freaking
about it
Comic Con, and I was all like, damn, I don't want no fucking beats. I don't want to do nothing. And I just thought about that right now. That I didn't want to do anything because I felt horrible. I felt like a
One thing I think
failure.
would be cool is that since you appreciate the act of working out, all right, you work out, lose more weight, you get the surgery, you lose the weight. And then after you're done with the weight, then you just, you know what, time to get fucking ripped.
Right.
And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're this buff-ass guy.
You can actually feel the muscle now.
Well, remember I was talking about that last, when I hug him, I feel it, I feel the
There's
tone.
a little,
Yeah.
little hardness.
The hardest.
It's just hiding.
It's underneath now.
All right. Well, any shout cats for everybody? Any official or unofficial shout cats?
I'll let you do this time.
No, go ahead.
No,
do
no,
it. No,
you do this
go
time.
ahead, man, because you know what? He deserves the credit.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Extraordinaire Daniel Bernal. Shout out to that guy. Thanks for helping this guy get into shape.
There you go.
Guaps? Sorry.
Shout out to Variant C.
Variant
Of course,
C.
Variant C can't be here right now, but hey, you know what? I'm just gonna give this to you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, have a few.
how does that transition?
I know. I'm thinking about like how to transition it, into giving you my gifts. Okay, because I kind of smell it. I think you guys need to.
Oh my God.
Use
I was
that.
gonna say, like, you guys are fucking smelly. What the
Okay.
shit?
So
He's on the
I'm
defensive.
giving you guys like the limited edition.
Oh, limited
Doctor
edition.
Squatch, please.
Dr. Squad, please. Yeah,
I
support
want
us.
limited edition stuff to rub
Yeah.
on my dick.
Nice.
Only the best for my dick.
For Tony, he hasn't seen Lord of the Rings, so I'm gonna give this to him. It's a really good movie.
a really good movie?
Yeah, the
Oh,
book's
thanks,
awesome
man.
too.
It's
You know?
All 6 of them.
The One Ring.
I watched
Put it
them
on my
all.
cock.
I never wanted to watch
to
them.
clean my cock. I mean, to yeah.
I just saw the trilogy again last week.
Wait, hey, you know what? You were just fuck. He would just text me, "Hey, does El Guapo like Lord of the Rings?" I was like, "I'm not sure. Do you like Lord of the Rings?"
Yeah.
I was like,
Never mind, give it to him. Fuck you, Tony. Yeah,
So
you know what?
The one soap to rule them all.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, fuck you, Tony. You get a DC soap. Okay, you get Batman. Okay.
Oh, you get Batman.
You get Batman.
Batman. The Dark Knight scrub.
Okay, there you
Smells like Mordor.
I saw mine. Let's see
Of
it.
course, for Jonas. For Jonas, personally, I think this is like the most disgusting
Oh
smell
wow.
for Dr. Squatch. But hey, you can have it.
Oh my god.
It smells like pizza.
It smells like pizza.
And red pubic hairs.
All right.
Does it really smell like pizza?
Well,
Oh yeah.
It does?
Basil leaves and
Wait,
tomato extract.
There you go.
I need it. Oh hell yeah! Don't eat that.
So I had.
What does this one smell
I
like?
feel bad.
Oh, Moonflower. Oh.
Smells like dead parents.
Oh wow!
Dead Parents and Revenge.
There
Broken
you go.
pearls.
smells
soaked
like
in
justice.
Blood. All right. So again, I felt bad. I already told Teardrop I didn't get him a gift. Now technically, I got El Guapo gift weeks ago.
Look at that shirt.
Yeah, that's shirt, man.
But then just the other
As
day,
advertised.
I was at Walmart and I saw something I wanted to get for E. Now I'm afraid that he might have to exchange it.
Oh,
Let me check. Because I asked him what his shirt size was and I was off. But the receipt's in the bag. I want you to wear it today,
What is it?
but open up.
Is it as?
You can take this.
Kingdom Come.
This will fit me.
Well, good.
Yeah, this will fit.
No, it's the new Superman
is it the
logo.
new one?
Superman
I mean, again,
logo.
on our text thread, he's been probably the most excited about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the new DC movies coming up. You know, I really hope that it will get more viewers into basically watching
back to
comic
what
books.
comic book
It
movies
deserves
again.
it. It
I mean,
deserves
again,
it. It's about time.
This will be
Yeah.
a teaser for the rest of the episode because, as it is with every fifth episode, it's comics based. We're going to talk about not just Captain America or Blackton America. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He went there.
I went there.
That's
You've already
Jonas.
seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it
You didn't see it?
because I got out of work late today. But again, I want you guys to discuss it. It's my fault. So I'm still gonna watch it. So
Yeah,
go.
you're
But I
okay.
mean,
Well,
in all
like,
regards, Jonas didn't have too much of his fault. Yesterday, he wanted to watch it as well, but his backyard
backyard
black. I said
flooded.
black.
My
Backyard.
backyard flooded.
His backyard got flooded.
Wow.
My backyard flooded.
Bye bye, Mousetopia. Bye. We're getting canceled. Sorry,
And then
guys.
today, shout cat to one of our coworkers, Jason P.
Jason P.
I was supposed to give him a report, but then he started on another unit, so I left work late. I couldn't watch the day in time to come home and feed my kids. So again, I'm letting it go. It's my fault. I should have watched it sooner. But then I want to know, we're going to recap that movie and your thoughts on it, and especially how it might lead into the next wave of Marvel movies.
Right.
I want you guys, we're going to discuss, again, the DCU and what we're seeing there, starting with Superman and where that's leading.
Right.
And we're ending with another special battle between El Guapo and E. It's a lot different from our other battles.
Definitely different.
A lot different. But I gave him some homework to do, and I'm really excited to see what you have. Shout cats for me.
you.
I have one, just a little one. All right. So last week we were talking about one of our former coworkers.
Yes.
And, unfortunate, the misfortune that he fell into. But today, I was at Costco, and I saw another one of our former coworkers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Shout cat to Arch.
Arch! He's an Arch today!
Yeah,
Archie!
so I was holding like my chicken wings and the shrimp cocktail, and I see him standing by the tire. He's like waving at me. So Arch, he was also a nurse at our hospital, and then he finished up his psychiatric nurse practitioner, and now he works alongside with some of our doctors.
Right.
He's doing amazing. He's an inspiration. I love you to death, Archie baby.
Oh, Arch is great.
So again, we hear some bad news, but then again,
some good
Arch is
news.
a shining example of
there you
doing
go.
it. He just bought a new house. Everything's working out for him. So I love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you, Arch.
shout
we
cat.
miss
Cool.
you.
Nice.
Shout
You're doing big
cats
things.
for you, sir.
For me, my brother first, co-host of Love, Death, and Tacos, Fernando.
Yeah.
Only because he also had the surgery, like I said,
Find him in any podcast
November the
lists.
4th. And he's been asking me how I've been doing things, and I've been, we've been sharing diets, and things like that. So
I think it's good. Sorry to cut you off, but I think it's good that I feel like since we met each other, I feel like you and your brother are definitely close, even though maybe you might not see each other a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great motivator for him that he has you.
Yeah.
In his corner,
love,
you know what I
again,
mean?
I listen to the show. I've listened to every episode, and what I love about them is they're brothers, but they seem more like best friends.
Happy
Yeah.
enders.
I never asked
Give me a
for it.
Five.
We take bubble baths and shit. No, but I never asked you this. He's your older brother, but what's your age difference?
Oh, 7 years.
7 years?
He's 7 years older than I am.
So either you look hella old or he looks hella
yeah,
young.
well, he takes it as he looks younger. He takes it as he looks younger. So
Carlitos doesn't look look old at all.
He's,
he looks young still.
he's 7 years older than I am, so I'm actually the accident because the oldest one of us, he and I have the two older brothers. The oldest one and my brother Fernando, they're only 2 years apart. And then I came 7 years after Fernando. So, but yeah, so hey, things happen. But still, 7 years. Now that we're adults,
right,
is nothing, But when we were kids, that was different.
Yeah,
that was different.
That's
Because think about it. When I was 10 years old, my brothers were 17 and 19. They didn't want a 10-year-old
out of high school. And you were still
trying to hang out with girls or whatever, and they didn't want a 10-year-old hanging out with them. So it was different. It was different.
I only have 4 years between me and my sister, and she never wanted me to hang out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Swanee and her brother have 3 years apart, and they had like the same friends and shit. And I was like, ew.
See, but
weird.
now my brother and I, like I said, that's definitely going to be one of the closest things that we got together, And sometimes I feel like we don't neglect my other older brother,
Right.
the one in the Navy.
Yeah.
Oscar, shout out to Oscar.
Oscar.
He's in the Navy. He's a commander in the Navy who right now, yesterday, flew out to South Korea.
Wow.
Because of some stuff that went down. So
watch out, you might be sharing.
Well, the thing is that
secrets.
I can't share details because he can't share details.
Right,
the only thing he told me was he's going there because some stuff went down on an aircraft carrier, and he's the one who has to go inspect the thing. And I was like, well, that sucks. But yeah, he's gonna be out there until mid March.
Oh wow.
And he's this close to retirement, but because he's around the world most of the time, and luckily now he's been in shore duty, so he's local. My brother Fernando and I will go do stuff, and then sometimes I feel like we'll go to the movies or we'll do whatever, and my other brother's like, what the fuck?
Can I come too?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's the brother that you go to conventions with, right?
The Fernando, yeah.
Were you guys always close? Like,
He and I always were. I mean, because Oscar was the oldest one. He left the house first, and Fernando and I ended up sharing a room when we were still living at my mom's, for example. So we just got closer, So, but not that I'm not close with my other brother. I mean, both my brothers are.
He's been in the military, so
he's been in the military. Yeah.
Leave,
It's your own fault. We don't love you.
Saving the world and all. The actual Captain America, even though he's a commander. Commander America. But and then I also got some stuff. Now I got some stuff for. I wanted to get stuff for all three of you guys, but just to lead it off, I couldn't find the thing for Tony. And the thing is that I'm still gonna get it.
He told me what it is,
but I'm still gonna get it.
Like, that's such a awesome, sweet.
I'm still gonna get it because you're gonna need it.
Okay.
Because as we started this podcast, you're gonna go through this journey, and this is a thing that helped me.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, after you get the surgery, you can't drink from a straw like we were talking about.
Right.
You can't guzzle drinks like you used to.
That's a big one.
You have to sip.
I know the main thing for me is like when I get really thirsty after my workouts, I'm literally like,
you can't do that. You got to sip. Okay. So you can't do that now. So what actually helped me was it's a Stanley. It's a 16-ounce Stanley that has a trigger, and it literally opens up a little hole about that big, so you cannot drink more than what comes out of that little hole.
Cool.
And
so
it helps. They make it. But the thing is that I just went to go look for it and I couldn't find the damn thing. So I will find it and I'll get it to you. So I apologize.
Dude,
and then you have to put on your shelf, so you'll be like, one day I'm gonna.
You're gonna use that.
You're gonna use
that.
You.
All right.
I'm stuck on you.
I want to get this for E also because again, this is although we are Marvel, usually, but this is gonna be more of a DC centric thing. So. I know you know this one. This is Hal Jordan has a red lantern from Brightest Day.
And it's a limited edition one.
Yeah, from Brightest Day. That's one of my favorite of the Green Lantern series because that's where they bring them all the colors.
Oh wait, speaking of that, is there going to be a new Green
Lantern
show?
It's called Lanterns.
Lanterns. There's so Hal Jordan and
John Stewart.
John Stewart.
John Stewart.
He just came out with an image.
I just saw the one image of them running, and then
you see the
Kyle
ring?
Chandler has his ring. I was like, oh, okay.
And then for the Jedi Master, Jonas himself, I got him the Dawn of the greatest villain ever. In his little tilt table as he was talking about.
A bear swallow.
That's great. I got you your
is awesome.
your Vader
Thank you,
too.
brother. I really appreciate it, man. And what makes this even more sweet is that Tony gets nothing.
He will. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna get something that actually matters.
I've got him so much in the past. I've got him such money gifts in the past. I'm just like, nah, he can go without it.
I go with that. I got some of the best ones ever, man.
He gets so much love. This guy gets too much love.
I get
also,
too much love.
one little thing too that I gotta mention. Whenever I post this guy on my social media, oh my god, the amount of love that this guy gets.
And he's been working out for like almost 3 years now.
I get 3 years now. I get like 1 like, 2 likes. One from my trainer,
He's
one
like,
from my
what the fuck?
girlfriend.
I'm here too.
And then when I post this guy, he gets like 50 likes from everybody.
Well, good, because
it's from people who don't even know him.
I don't even know them.
The Cinderella story.
But
It's like that rocket story, man.
It's the motivation.
So I really appreciate that motivation.
And I always make sure that I tell him, that way he.
No, I appreciate it, and I do appreciate it. Yeah. We might talk shit a lot in the background. You might see us talk shit, but I really appreciate the motivation and the push. And again, Daniel Bernal again. Shout out to director Isabel back there. I know that she's back there. She's back there. She's chilling. She's making sure we're okay and everything's running smoothly.
Yeah.
Shout out to some people from work. AJ. Shout out to AJ. AJ's been wondering when the next podcast is going to come out.
Oh, he listens?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So right around Christmas.
Margaret. Shout out to Margaret. I'm trying to think. Ivy. Shout out to Ivy. Trying to think of all the people that have just been saying, where's the podcast? Where's the podcast? It's here. There's one out now. This is already going. It should be going out. How you said Christmas time. So hopefully we'll be okay.
It's weird just hearing all the people who listen to podcasts I didn't know about. Now I'm just like, oh man, they're gonna hear me talking about fucking blowjobs and shit.
Well, okay.
I'm dirty, guys.
That's why I tell people where I work about our podcast. I was like, it's highly inappropriate. So just
I don't know if we want to listen to it.
And I actually told one of the PAs that I work with, physician's assistant, when I mentioned it. She's like, oh, I want to listen. I was like, it's highly inappropriate. I said, look, if you listen and you get offended, I warned you.
It's your
all right.
own
And
fault.
she goes, no. She goes, I want to listen. I was like, okay. And she took out her iPhone and she started looking for it and she found it and she put it on her favorites. But what was funny was that she was listening to a podcast before she looked for our podcast.
Yeah.
And
Penis rip.
that one popped up first, and it was like this Catholic sermon thing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. So how are you going to put that next to? Oh my God.
Especially because of what we talked about the last couple episodes.
Yeah,
You guys talked about
exactly.
Like what kind of sounds do you make?
Exactly. Oh, the phone calls we made.
It's like a sigh.
Yeah, exactly.
That Coca-Cola drink.
Yeah, I told her if you were offended, you were warned. So,
Oh, actually, before we go on, I know it's the big comics episode, but I want to talk about Disney for a second.
Yeah.
Things
So
going
I
on.
finally got to ride Tiana.
Right?
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Did she know?
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, all right.
That's a good one.
Drum roll.
Frog version.
But
We went there, and then it was a wait. It was like an hour and a half.
Okay.
But we finally got to ride it, and
Is it less racist?
it's a lot less racist.
Okay, cool.
I like the ride, but then there's a lot of glitches on it.
What are the glitches?
There were some animatronics of her that weren't moving, or her mouth was out of sync. There's one of like the big, I don't want to spoil the ride, but of the gator that wasn't moving at all. And ultimately,
That's part of the charm for me, though.
Well, I know, but then the thing is, and I enjoyed the ride. We got the ride pictures, all fun and stuff like that. But then there was that sense of like, it doesn't feel as triumphant as the end of Splash Mountain.
Got it.
So Splash Mountain as a ride, you ride it, and then you go through this whole story, and then you're rooting for Brer Rabbit, and then he's about to die and shit, and then you plunge into like the briar and stuff, and then at the very end, he's alive. The fox and the bear are caught. That big, it feels like a win.
Got
this
it.
one, like it. Well, I don't want to spoil how it ends. I mean, it ends with a party.
Right.
And it's a cool party, but you're like,
'Cause,
but then there's no conflict throughout the whole ride.
Right? Isn't it just like I'm not trying to ruin for the people that haven't seen it or know about it, but I think the whole premise of the ride is trying to find critters for the band, right?
It's a band itself. They're like, we're gonna have a big party. We have to find a band to play at the party.
Right.
That's what the storyline of the ride is, and. I mean, there are some cool surprises where like, oh shit, oh wow,
right?
Like, but then again, at the very end, I was like, all right, they had their party. Beignets are great,
right?
So,
Beignets are great.
I mean, I'm gonna be riding it. It's still fun, but then I'll miss you, Splash Mountain.
Well, there's just a lot going on at the parks in general right now. I think not only, that's of course the big one that one just opened. But I know they're working on a lot of things at the park. I think number one, I don't know if you guys. For the people that have the pass, I don't have my pass anymore. I know you guys still do.
Yeah.
The
Peasants.
Go on this side.
Why do you think he's that next to me? Zootopia! He's over there fucking win.
What'd you?
So, for the start off first with the gates, the new gate system.
Oh, yeah.
The new gates that are coming
now
out
we
pretty
have to
soon.
use those fucking magic keys, or the magic bands.
the bands.
Yeah, the
I
magic
bought
bands.
4 of them, never used them. I fucking gave them away.
Oh, now you got to get another
I'm
one.
gonna go
Yes.
buy them again.
I think it's about I still have ours.
They haven't started to use them. They only had like a beta.
They're getting
so far, so they're getting ready for it. But I bought mine. I bought my Iron Man one, and I got the wife. I got her Nightmare Before Christmas
Nice.
one.
So is it?
So you have to have it now?
No,
Not
you
yet.
don't. You don't
Not
have
yet.
to.
Just
But
wanna
I think
make-
eventually they're going to that because now instead of having the turnstile,
Yeah.
it's like
They're
a
like glass
double
doors.
door open
Yeah.
that opens
Yeah,
like
and that's
this.
how they were at
at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
But I mean, no. Did they?
Yeah.
No, because remember when we went to Walt Disney World
You
at
were
Epcot,
using-
we just walked through. We just did our little thingy. We walked through. We didn't have
Yeah.
no doors. It just kind of had a little opening, and you went through. They didn't have the glass doors. Not that I remember.
Well,
That's just more.
Pull up the video. Put up the video right
maybe
there.
I'm just thinking about
whatever
that,
happens
that
right there.
magic band like sensor thing, that little ball thing
Yeah.
that they run on.
But I know they have that little green thing.
But
you hold
is it
in.
going to function like Walt Disney World where our credit cards are attached to it and ring keys and shit?
They
Or
haven't
is it-
said too much about that yet. I think they've just been working on both sides. They've been working on DCA side and
Yeah.
Disneyland
What's
side.
it trying to accomplish though? Faster, less lines?
I guess modernization. I don't know if you guys seen that the old signs they used to crank over to turn like
it's all
entrance,
digital now,
exit.
yeah.
Now it's all digital. Not all of them. They're still working on the whole entrances. I know that most of the entrance, the side closest to the parking structure going down towards the middle is almost done. They still haven't worked on the other half yet on Disneyland side. And then same thing with the DCA. They've worked on the side close to the parking structure, and they haven't worked all the way across yet. But I'm pretty sure they're trying to connect it just like, Walt Disney World, but they haven't really said too much yet.
Now, I know at Walt Disney World, because it's a different app, the Disneyland app here, and then the Disney World app is I know that when you connect your Magic Band on the Disney World app, then you don't need to buy the Magic Band because your watch becomes your Magic Band, and you can just use your watch for it. Cool. So eventually, if you have an Apple Watch, hopefully here we can do the same.
Yeah, because when we went to Epcot originally, since we had the 4-day pass, they gave us a card that day, and that same card we used.
Yeah.
So we scanned the card, then we put our finger, and then they did this, and then we were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool. I'd take the phone. That's so much easier. Your watch or phone.
Unless someone figures out a way to hack it.
Right. That's
back
true.
to paper tickets.
But it sounds to me like it's just a ploy to get people to buy bands.
No, that's it. That's why I'm
probably
pissed. Because I bought it fucking a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boy, let's use Magic Bands, and it never.
Let's prepare everybody to waste money.
Disney thinking, how can we extort these fuckers?
But now you notice that on the news now lately talking
business.
about them saying that we might have gone too high on our ticket price.
Shit.
So we were on our text thread. We were talking about this, and my immediate answer was, well, if they do lower the ticket prices, everything will suffer.
Yeah.
And
he made a good joke about that one too.
Joke about it, and then El Guapo had a good retort. But then we have to watch names.
Right.
I basically said that, first off, all the staff will be replaced by stoned teenagers who don't give a fuck. And then El Guapo said, I could speak from anecdotal evidence that they're already stoned.
They're already stoners.
Like, yeah, but they're stoned adults who do give a fuck.
Yeah, she still want to be cast. And they still want to try to make it
like the ticket itself will be cheaper, but everything else, like the churros, will be half the size.
Right.
They'll be paint flaking off Dumbo's
And then I think you said the size of the portions will be smaller, and then Eric's not like, they're already small enough.
They're
already smaller.
I'm trying to figure out what makes Walt Disney World such decent sized portions of food for cheap price. I mean, how come they could do it? Is it because of fucking
because we were surprised when we got the food over there. We were like, why is it so much cheaper and more inexpensive here than it is here?
Yeah, I went
because it's Florida.
When I went, I tried a new dish, one that El Guapo can't eat, but it's a honey walnut shrimp wrap.
Ooh,
yeah. I liked it, but then I was like, whatever. I didn't need more spice. I want to talk about another big change in the parks. The new bride at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
actually, first off,
really cool.
Before I get to that, all the changes for the Haunted Mansion. So have you guys been to the new line yet?
I haven't.
So what they basically did,
but haven't been there.
They basically just added more line,
more queue,
queue that goes that basically the whole area where it used to
be the old fast.
They just walled it up, and then they added like more plants. They added like this I guess kind of a glass house thing, and then they put speakers in that play the music.
Yeah.
So then it's just basically, make you feel more part of the ride instead of just hanging out right across from Tiana's fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I've been saying this to my wife, I was like, what they basically did was they just went to like Home Goods or TJ Maxx and bought anything that could be remotely spooky or weird, and then so it's all the decorations are all mismatched and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like for some reason there's a bust of Michelangelo's David, and over here it's like a fucking metal cat. It's like there's no theming at all. There's like and every time I go out on that line, I'm like, fucking just Home Goods. It's like,
I can get this shit right now.
I can make this right now.
Wow.
So I don't want to shit on it because I know that they did it because they're like, well, yeah, they're gonna have to wait in this line. We want to give them something.
Well, because you guys remember before that, the line used to stretch into that fountain area, so they used to make it all that big, and it's like they had nowhere to put them. So I guess they wanted to make it more organized.
Yeah, but I think the reason why I'm bummed out back to Walt Disney World is Walt Disney World's Haunted Mansion has a long line that winds.
Yeah.
Right. But then they have such a great, interesting line. There's a bunch of tombstones that are all interactive. They have there's some tombstones that you touch them, they'll play music. There's some that just start talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
We didn't notice that we were walking in right away.
Like, did we do that or no?
We didn't even pay attention. We were walking in. We were because it was already dark at night.
There's even like a little game where like
it was weird.
There's a code that there's like some kind of code where you could decode a message from different tombstones. There's just a lot of shit to do.
That's crazy.
And then meanwhile it's like, oh yeah, here's the fucking a glass crystal ball filled with, I don't know, angel fairies, There's this one table where just like the most random assortment of shit where it's like, oh, here's a pewter teapot and a glass cat and like a fucking vintage camera. I don't know. It's so dumb. Yeah. And then, so again, I applaud the effort, but
it just seemed they could have done better.
Try harder.
Yeah.
Well, I know that I'm going on April the 2nd, I believe it is, because that's going to be Nurses Day again. This is going to be the 4th year that this nurse. I think he works at Chalk. I don't know, but he's a nurse here in Southern California, and he put it together the first year, and it's just grown exponentially since then. He's got an Instagram, Nurses Day at the Park. And Shoukat,
Nurses Day at the Park.
Nurses Day at the Park.
If you're a nurse, check it out.
And they sell shirts and everything. Today was the last day though, but I got my shirt. And this year it's Tiana, it's Bayou themed.
Oh, okay.
Last
so
year,
you better go on that.
Yeah,
ride.
last year we took a picture in front of the castle.
Okay.
I've done it 2 of the last 3 years. This will be the 4th. The first year they just gathered and they took a picture, and then the second year same deal, but it was a much bigger crowd.
Yeah.
And then last year Disney kind of was like, wait a minute, this is getting bigger than it should.
Yeah.
So
like
they actually had to have official cast members filing people into where you're actually gonna be now.
Oh wow!
And they had their photographers, and they charged this guy who puts it together. His name is Scott.
I love that.
You laugh when you said charge.
Yeah, they charge them now for the picture because now it's an official Disney photographer.
Of course, it's like Disney want to make money, but also it's Disney recognizing that here's another subculture of people that love our parks.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we all know about Bats Day.
Right.
So Bats Day is when the goths take over the park. And I remember on one occasion they had a photo op, and then they brought out Maleficent.
Yeah.
Out of like just this is before the movie came out. They brought her out, and they all hailed her like a queen and stuff.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's what they do. That there was even a conflict that they might not do the picture in front of the castle this year because it might be too much, but there was a GoFundMe and they funded it, so they're going to do the picture, and they give you an itinerary, and at one point we also take over the steamboat. And
nice,
the Rivers of America, all of us in the steamboat all wearing the shirt.
I think it might be way too much now.
So
if you had that many people in front of the castle, I don't think it's going to fit the boat.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
But there's that old joke. Well, if you're all here, then who's taking care of the patients?
but it was the safest time to be at the park. There's so many nurses there. I mean,
my chest hurt.
Water.
It
was crazy.
We need this guy. We need
but
help.
again, I'll be going again on April the 2nd because I did enjoy doing that. And
That's
the
cool,
guy puts it on, and it's really fun when we go because it's a bunch of nurses.
Nurses Day at the park.
And there's also Disney does put out the pins, Nurses Day pins.
Yeah.
But those usually come out a week or two before the actual event.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Luckily, again, I have an inside track, so I get it before.
Give me a little
I'm just saying, boom.
that's
I get it. So, but hopefully, I'm able to get it this year. I don't want to speak before.
Before we go on to comics, his inside track, he's going to be on our show.
Yeah.
Again, at this moment, we can't give him a name yet. Did we say we're going to give him a different perspective? Did we say we're going to give him a nickname already? Not yet.
Well, we know we had because we were trying to get Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
We call him the captain.
Yeah.
Trying to get Captain on the show.
Yeah, but
shout out to Rudy and Megan.
Yeah, congratulations again.
Woo, to the baby.
You know what? He does a lot of strongman competitions, so we can just call him the strongman.
Oh, the strongman. So the strongman, he's a current cast member.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's gonna tell some fun stories, maybe a little more offbeat stories. That'll be good. I mean, any
like
different
that.
perspective. just to make our family even bigger. And if it even becomes a problem to come in person, I mean, we got this. What's that platform called? Train station?
So Streamlabs.
Streamlabs. Streamlab. Okay, where'd I get train station?
Y'all were saying Zoom. I'm like, no, I'm not using Zoom.
That's for teachers.
Streamlabs. All right, shout out to Streamlabs. Help us out. Hook it up.
Just drop a little bit.
Drop a little coin. Drop. You know what I mean?
You know what I love? Streamlab.
Yeah, Streamlabs is great.
Also,
you can have 4 people at one time. Wow.
4? I thought it was like 10.
I don't know. You can probably have more than that.
Yeah,
you can have 1,000 people at one time.
Yes.
All right, so let's take a little break, and when we come back, Blacked in America.
I like it.
Black New World.
Oh my God.
That's what the movie's called.
And we're canceled.
With an
All right, we'll be right back. We'll try.
All right.
Hey everybody, it's me, your favorite food character. You already know who it is. Right now, I'm listening to the best podcast out there, the Mousetopia ENT Podcast. You can find them on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you can hear podcasts. But right now, I need food.
All right,
we're back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Sappy stories and sad stories.
We literally talked about dead dogs for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like,
and alive dogs.
Downer.
Like Bluey. We were talking a little bit about Bluey actually coming to the park soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm all
I haven't
in.
seen Bluey yet.
I'm for it.
I'm all in.
You haven't
watched Bluey?
So,
I just watched the one episode.
I'll watch it.
so Bluey's a Disney-owned entity?
It's not Disney owned, but then they run the shows on Disney
Disney
Channel.
Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Plus,
So, and I'm pretty sure that the owner or the creator of Disney, Joe Brum, he knows he's sitting on a fucking landmine.
Oh
He
yeah,
could
of
easily
course.
sell
You got to
it
jump on it before it goes away.
He could easily sell it to Disney for $1 billion, but then it's still his. It's still his under Ludo's. And the last season, 3, is supposedly the last season he'll be working on personally.
Yeah, I think he said that they told all the story that they wanted to tell.
So there's gonna be a movie left.
Yeah.
Now, if Disney wants to pull like fucking Star Wars moves and then buy Bluey
They're on writers and everything,
and then I'll watch it, but it's gonna suck.
It'll be the same.
Yeah, and then you start getting spin-offs like Pat the Dog Next Door.
I'll watch a show
with Rusty. I want to watch a show with Rusty. Rusty's my favorite one.
You know that Rusty was supposed to be the star?
Really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be about Rusty,
love
but
Rusty.
then they made a left and like, no, we want to be about a girl.
Nah.
And I know we're supposed
anything
to
about it.
What?
Oh, well, here's something a little closer. Kathleen Kennedy, no longer going to be in charge
stepping
of
down
Lucasfilm.
from the Star Wars role no more.
She's not going to be big boss anymore.
I just read somewhere like yesterday that she's actually not stepping back down. Like,
Wait, she's not?
She's looking for a
replacement.
No, like a replacement, but she's not completely going.
Oh,
away.
why? Because she's waiting for somebody to replace her and then she can leave.
Well, they're saying that it's of course to be John Favreau or Dave Filoni,
That's
and
what they're thinking. That's number one.
or both.
Like
they're
she's looking for a protege, like, basically, right?
I mean, like if it's either of those men's hands,
Or they don't want to just leave the position vacant. They just want to have it to somebody. I don't
But
know.
if she does leave, how do you guys feel about it?
I mean, like
if it's John Favreau, I'm all right. And Dave Filoni, I'm all right. Yeah, that's like James Gunn taking over the DC for me.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
So most people, like most Star Wars fans our age, they don't like Kathleen Kennedy. They think they steered her wrong. I never had a big problem with a lot of the Star Wars properties. Oh, real quick, I love the Skeleton Crew, but fucking, it's just Goonies. Goonies in space. Who gives a fuck?
It's in space.
I love it. It was fun. I'm never gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not gonna be a season 2. I don't care. Andor season 2 is coming out. And the first trailer came out, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The choice of music is like this old school like protest song,
right?
And it just I can't wait for that. But again, Star Wars. That's my Star Wars talk. We'll save it. This is about comics.
Yeah.
MCU.
And we're starting off with
Blacked in America, Black New World.
Black you, Tony.
Black New World.
So
the cap.
To preface, of course, I didn't watch it. I did watch all of Falcon
Shame
and the
on
Winter
you.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Kids.
Dang kids.
But
But I take it back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I watched that whole series, which was basically about Sam Wilson having to deal with
becoming Cap.
Well, not quite. Him dealing with America assigning another Captain America.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a bipolar mess.
But we knew he was going to be in the universe because he is in the universe. That's U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
And U.S. Agent is he's not Cap.
He's not Cap. And then that's what that series proved. And it was all about, and it gave us a little backstory about there being proto super soldiers before Captain America.
Which you get Isaiah Bradley.
Bradley, and he makes an appearance. Well, you guys are going to go into. Now, before we go on, this is going to be all spoilers, even for me, but I'm letting
already past that. It's already past that 2-week mark. Who cares?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Spoiler alert.
You're not going to post this for another 3 months anyway.
I'll try my best.
But anyways, that series ended with him just saying, I'm Captain America. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And
I'm Captain America.
And then COVID. And then this is the... Now, we've had Marvel movies come out since then, a lot of properties, but something that E has made very clear that we've all seen is that the quality of these movies were not up to par. I mean, they were good attempts.
There were hits, and then some of them were misses. Definitely more misses than hits.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Marvels. I didn't watch what's that, Miss Marvel. I think the last Marvel thing I watched that I was really into was Loki season 2. Was there anything else leading up to this? Did you watch Secret?
Or we're talking about series, or we're talking about movies?
I watched Eternals, but it's like fucking. That's it.
But the Eternals actually plays a huge role. A huge role in this. Yes.
Okay, because I really did enjoy the Eternals, but I thought that was it for them.
No, it plays a huge.
And then also leading us into what we're gonna get our new era of mutants in a sense. Like, working.
They're kind of already working it in because the
so he doesn't mind him ruining it.
So
for
the
us.
whole reason for it is the reason why I say the Eternals plays a big Tiamat, yeah,
Tiamat.
So
the god celestial that was coming out, right?
Yeah, that comes out of the ocean.
So they call it Celestial Island.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And guess what Celestial Island is made out of?
A metal stronger than vibranium.
So where does this tie into?
Well, what kind of metal do you think is stronger than vibranium? That's adamantium.
Adamantium.
Oh fuck! I'm all mad then.
It's adamantium, and it's the whole thing about which nation is gonna go get it first.
So we talked about it like a few episodes
I
ago.
Did watch, I watched your spoiler-free review, and the thing is that Eve seems so hard pressed to call it great. It's like it's not bad, but it's not great.
It's not great.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
Now, were you seeing that just in terms of like comics movies in general, or were you saying that in terms of Marvel
because
movies?
we saw the reviews prior to the movie coming out, and most of it was negative.
Yeah, but see, I didn't want to pay attention to any of those reviews because a lot of those people, and I know we don't do anything political here, and I don't want to do anything political, but a lot of the negative reviews that were coming out of this movie was because Captain America was a black man and he had a Mexican sidekick. And that's really why people were upset about it. But that happens in the comics, people.
Yeah.
It happens in the comics.
It happens in the comics.
So, come on. You know, that's really why.
So it was a lot of whole like, oh, you're just pandering to this.
It became woke.
Blah blah blah.
It became woke and all that bullshit.
Full disclosure, guys. Today is supposed to be the economic blackout, February 28th.
Yeah.
That's why I shopped at Costco, who continued their DEI initiatives despite all the withdrawals.
All the crap.
All right, but so then it was the movie was politicized, even though it wasn't its fault. Maybe it was intentional.
But there was also a quote from from Anthony Mackie when they told him what he thought about Captain America. And he said that Captain America doesn't represent America. He represents the people and the hope and all of this stuff. And that's actually a quote that Steve Rogers, Captain America, said in the comic books.
Yes.
And people were all pissed off at him for saying it because because he's a black man. And he's like, dude, really? That's just the kind of state of the world.
I think a lot of people are taking whatever is going on political wise into what we're watching now, and it's like, dude, can we take the entertainment as it is?
Goddammit.
Just
they'll be like, Black Captain America. What's next? A Mexican submariner?
That happened.
What's going
A white Black Panther. All right, so
and I think that's the thing that kind of bums me out about comic book movies nowadays. It does have a negative connotation that goes with it.
Yeah.
Now. I'm gonna give you an example, Jonas. Like you didn't even see it yet. Because you had no interest in it.
No, I was interested in it.
You were interested in it.
I just didn't have the
but
time.
you didn't have the same amount of excitement that you did as, let's say Endgame.
I saw Endgame day one.
I
waited
the Endgame.
But it's like Endgame. We knew it was gonna have an end, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like.
Here's what's. I guess it wasn't just the interest. It wasn't because of the character. It was also because my only build up to it was Falcon the Winter Soldier.
I've never seen it. Full disclosure, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, like there was it didn't like.
So you haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I haven't, but that's why when Isaiah Bradley showed up, I'm like, hey Tony, do you know who that is?
He's a big part of the show, and then you also missed a part of the movie where they're showing like when he's back in the office and they show a picture of a lady in a boat. That's his sister.
Okay.
And then you meet her on the show too.
I've
and
seen
that's his older sister. Yeah, so.
Yes, haven't had the time to actually watch the whole series.
Again, I'm probably going to be more biased because I'm going to like comic book movies regardless whether people hate them or not because I'm a comic book fan, so I'm going to like them. All right, I love that movie. Goddamn it!
I know you.
All right, but what I loved about this movie, because I even turned over to the wife and I said, finally,
right?
They left me hanging with the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton.
Yeah.
They left me hanging with that guy. If you remember when Samuel Stearns creates the Abomination and he gets knocked down, the blood goes on the guy's head and it starts to bubble, and I thought, that's the leader. And we never saw him again.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy in this film.
Man.
So the leader is back. They never call him the leader, but he's the leader. And the thing is that I was happy to see him, but then I thought, he's more of a Green Hulk enemy because the whole point of the leader was he's trying to get the strength of the Hulk into his body with his mind as well, because he's thinking combination of his brain and the Hulk's strength, he'd be unstoppable. But whatever, I mean, it's Red Hulk. Whatever.
You know what? Now I could see them writing the script a whole lot different, in the sense that maybe I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there, and I'll bring it back up later.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Ross and being the president and how he becomes the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Like we'll get there. We'll get there. Like the way I was thinking, like now the way they could have wrote the movie, I feel like it could have been a whole lot better. But it's okay.
They did, with the Red Hulk, they did get a lot of things correct, and they got one little minor thing that was wrong for me, but whatever, if I'm nitpicking. The one thing that I noticed the one thing that I noticed that they got, I'm gonna say quote unquote wrong, was before he even turns, he has like, there's instances in the movie where he's like getting flustered and you see his eyes start turning red.
Yeah.
All right. In the comic books, his eyes aren't red; they're yellow.
Yeah.
And they kind of have like flames coming out of them, and that's what they got correct. Is the fact that he's fueled not only by rage, but it's literally fire that's inside him. So when he touches things, that's why you see in the commercial when he's turning and he touches the podium, it starts to burn because it's fire. That's
why his clothes were burning.
It burns off. Yeah, because that's one of his things. Every Hulk has something different, and the Red Hulk is fire. Which is cool. And then the other thing that I looked over at the wife, and I'm gonna say I'm lucky that she's still the wife, because I keep giving her these little tidbits, and she just looks at me like, "Shut up!"
I can't believe I let you put a child in me.
Exactly. But what I was happy about too was the fact that they reintroduced Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. And the thing is that they did that, and then I looked over at her and I said, "Interesting. They have the Red Hulk." And they brought Betty Ross. And she goes, "Why?" I said, "Because there's also a Red She-Hulk. And guess who Red She-Hulk is? Betty Ross."
That's so cool.
And the leader mentions her several times during the movie as to try to get to President Ross, to try to get in his head. He mentions her a lot. So how do we know he didn't already get to her and she's already the Red Hulk?
So there's a part in the movie where I didn't think she was going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I really didn't think she was. I thought
because
they used her voice and that was it. That's what I thought. So there's a part in the movie where he becomes president, right? So he's president. We know it's President Ross now, and he's at his 100 days, and he's like, not even there yet. I'm thinking he's barely, because they jump from when he first gets inaugurated to 100 days, but when he's inaugurated, he wants that love from his daughter.
Yeah.
And his person was like, hey, we try to get a hold of her, but we can't get a hold of her. Da, da, da. And then
and his person is like 4'5" and all of 89 pounds, and just and wrecks people, bro.
So then I'm like, okay, well, I think he tries to reach out to her and he leaves her a message. I'm like, no, they're not gonna bring Liv Tyler back. That's some bullshit. But like, it's kind of cool if they did. And then they did throw us that curveball at the end of the movie that, she shows up, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's Liv Tyler. Like,
you know what? I think that it probably wasn't done concurrently, but there was a plan, and it was basically the plan to like amalgamate all these different studios, all these different worlds. We talked about that with Deadpool and all those characters coming back.
Right.
So I love that. I mean, sorry, Ed Norton.
Right.
Sorry for Ed Norton, but then wait. So it sets up. Well, you're going from real.
I'm just
comics.
from comics. Yeah,
comics.
She's the Red She-Hulk, and if one day we do get World War Hulk, like I've seen fan fiction on that, if we do get World War Hulk, where it's all the Hulks that show up, then we do need She-Hulk. Yeah, we do need She-Hulk. We do need Red She-Hulk. We need the Scar, which is the Hulk's brother or Hulk's son. We need the Green Hulk, and we're gonna need Mr. Fix-It eventually.
So
for that to happen, though, they need to the MCU needs to have a better representation for Hulk.
Yeah.
Because
they're setting it up, but the way I was telling
he just sucks. Like he just sucks at the MCU, bro. Like,
I love the Red Hulk's depiction of the Hulk because it was like the Hulk that we know in the sense of like being a Hulk.
Well, he used to be like that.
Yeah,
he used to be like that. Think about Iron Man. Was it 2?
Professor Hulk, whatever. But when it was the Hulk, it was just, I don't know, like he was just the shit. I don't know.
Are you talking about the Ed Norton Hulk?
No, I think he's talking about the Hulk.
Just being a Hulk in general.
Yeah.
Before it became.
Yeah.
The last time I saw it was with the Hulkbuster fight.
When he was the Smart Hulk.
Yeah, because I mean, you see him the way he was around Ragnarok. I would have taken that shit. That would have been fucking awesome. like Professor Hulk was cool, but
once the Hulk started looking more like Mark Ruffalo,
there's even
taking pictures with kids. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw a post where they showed
doing yoga down the street.
They showed the Ed Norton Hulk, like in the first movie, he was using cars as gauntlets.
Yeah, right. I love that part of the movie.
And then on the She-Hulk show, he couldn't even stop a damn car.
Right.
Like it was
right.
He was getting ran over.
But remember, the Hulk gets stronger the madder he gets, and now that he's Professor Hulk and he does yoga and stuff, his anger's managed.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Red Hulk, the anger he gets, he doesn't get stronger. He just gets hotter.
Yeah.
Wait, so let me ask you guys: was this setting up a Hulkverse?
No.
So all right,
but they did use a lot of characters from the.
Yeah.
It did seem like a Hulk movie without the Hulk.
Without the Hulk, yeah. But what they do set up, when we were talking in the text thread, I was thinking you were going to watch the movie, but when they do talk to the leader again, and he does say, this is the beginning. He says they're coming, and he says, who's coming? He says, all of them.
All of them.
So
Secret Wars?
We're thinking Secret Wars because Secret Wars is everybody.
Yeah. It's just so vague though. Like you don't really know.
But if they do it, this is the beginning of. This would be like Iron Man 1. This is the beginning leading up to Endgame, and that was 10 years.
Right. That was when I texted El Guapo, I'm like, because I was texting El Guapo on the thread. I'm like, hey, is this like for the end credits? Does the leader say that something about Battle World or Secret Wars? Yeah.
And then he said something about parallel worlds or parallel something.
Well, he said that you had trouble dealing with these heroes, these kind of things, but the rest are coming. He says all of them.
All of them.
So now that we have the multiverse kind of thing, and who knows? We can have
left that door open. Honestly, it's right there.
So many.
We need the mutants. So that,
they're coming.
What Deadpool did.
And then I predicted the right thing for the origin of the adamantium, though.
Yeah.
A few
and I figured that's the direction they were going to go to.
What was it?
Do you think it's gonna be then MCU's Wolverine?
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like
So not Hugh Jackman.
Well, he's part of the
I
MCU.
feel
Right?
like
I know,
it's
but
future.
then like of
our new
Of our-
Wolverine in
of
the
our
future.
new-
Those
Yeah.
the new X-Men. Yeah.
Was it years ago that I mentioned that?
We mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but
you're right.
about the origin of adamantium and
Yeah. When we saw
was
the
it-
Eternals.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned. It. Okay.
We talked about that. Like,
So that's why I kept calling myself Mystic
because
E.
the way that he came out and the way that he solidified himself, I'm like, we talked about it. I thought about it, but he said it. I'm like, fucking, it could be adamantium. But then we were way far
You know
out.
what? In this movie, though, they did say that at the very beginning of it, there's like a heist, and that Captain America, thwarts and everything like that. And the whole thing is that they already have some adamantium. Somebody already has it, and they stole it, and they needed to get it back. And what I liked was that they highlighted the fact that the first sample of adamantium was actually taken by Japan. And I like that because Wolverine, remember, got all that training in Japan.
Yeah.
So I'm
Silver
kind
Samurai.
of I'm with Silver Samurai and all them guys, and then Yuriko. Remember what she's got the weird nails too and everything like that.
That's right.
So I'm kind of happy that they mentioned that Japan had the first
That
the
first
first
one.
adamantium because that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
So from here, is it Fantastic Four next, or is
Yeah,
it
Fantastic Four.
All right.
Fantastic Four.
Wait, is
no,
it
no,
Fantastic Four? No, it's
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts first.
Oh yeah, Thunderbolts I think is in
Thunderbolts
May.
first.
Yeah,
And
and you
they-
know what? I really was hoping that they would connect this movie with Thunderbolts, but it was going to be a very very thin thread for me. But because Thunderbolts. General Thunderbolt Ross started the Thunderbolts in the
Right.
comic books, and he's in
Or
the
maybe are
Thunderbolts
they not
as the Red
showing
Hulk.
us? And I'm hoping
They're
they're
not
not
showing
showing
us.
us.
They're not.
Maybe. I mean, I'm hoping.
They've already had trailer breakdowns where like there's someone obviously photoshopped from this scene in the trailer.
But they did kind of show us what the Sentry's gonna do. The Sentry is a badass.
And if you think about it, how they
Slash
said in the
Void.
trailer, what are we going to do? Are we just going to shoot our way through it? And it's like, you need someone stronger than that group
'cause
to fight Sentry.
Because Sentry / the Void, he went toe to toe with Green Hulk and beat him.
Right.
So this dude he's serious.
He's
And
serious.
World War Hulk barely beat him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barely beat him.
That's
Yeah.
Hulk at his strongest point.
At his strongest point.
So Sentry is no joke.
Yeah. So I
so-
think that we're going to need an entity that's stronger than any of those that we've seen in the trailer. We
Bucky's
need
got
something.
him. Bucky's got him.
We got a little bit. Okay, but we
Bucky
do
will
get
take care of
Bucky.
it.
Yeah.
But did you notice too? One of the breakdowns that I saw of the trailer for Thunderbolts is there's a part in the trailer where they're all walking into somewhere and you see U.S. Agent holding his shield, but it's bent in half, almost like a taco.
Yeah.
and they're saying Void did that
Yeah.
because if that thing is supposed to be vibranium, he bent it like nothing.
Nothing.
So that's how strong
Yeah.
he is.
I'm just hoping that they're gonna show a proper representation or the
Yeah.
Void or
that's what I asked
Sentry
you
in this
guys.
movie because the past few times that they've had like strong characters like Gore the Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
He's stronger than what they showed.
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah. Same
Let's
thing.
make
I
him
felt
go on a diet of apples and
I felt the same
water.
way with in Guardians 3 when they showed Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock
But
was.
you know, and to be fair, Adam Warlock in Guardians 3 was supposed to be kind of a joke.
I know, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he's no
I know
joke.
he's- I know
And
he's not.
when I saw him
He's
there, I
stronger
was
than-
like,
yeah.
oh man, Adam Warlock is.
But they did kind of establish at least in that movie like he's just a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair enough.
he wasn't complete.
He's not- yeah, he's not
he
complete
wasn't
yet.
complete.
They
So I'm
pulled
like,
him out
okay,
before
at
he was
least, like,
done.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
my question to you guys, since you guys are a little bit more comic book really than I am, so the Void and are they in the comics? From what I heard, they're a dual entity in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And then
Two
eventually they break out.
Yeah, two sides
and
of the
it's
same
two sides
coin.
of the
Yeah.
same coin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then going deeper into the comic books with the Dark Avengers that Norman Osborn starts, he creates this like medication as like a pill that helps control the dark side of Sentry, so he can control him better. And he gives the same thing to Venom, so he can be Black Spider-Man, and he takes it himself, so he can control the Green Goblin within him.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
okay.
yeah.
That's cool then. So I'm saying like because I'm wondering. So I'm guessing the basis of the movie is he can't separate himself yet. So
But
the
once
void's
he
pretty
does-
much taking out, pretty much taking over, and really
Yeah.
just causing wreck and destruction all over.
And
New York.
think the
And it's
kind-
always New York, damn it!
and
It's always
think,
New York.
Think the kind of wreckage and destruction that this guy's gonna do that like the Dark Phoenix can do.
Got it.
Like
Got
it just
it.
vaporize shit.
Yeah,
You know-
you see in the trailer, like literally,
Yeah,
like
yeah, just
he's making
people
shadows.
just
Yeah.
He's
That's it,
making
you're done.
shadows
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the trailer.
kind of like Hiroshima. That's just scary as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be
I just hope that they do right by that
Yeah.
character. You know,
And then a quick sweep through before we get into the DC side. How about Fantastic Four for you guys? What do you feel about the trailer? What do you guys feel about
Really
it?
happy.
Look, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be there.
you're
I
good.
just didn't want it to be in the 60s.
Well,
But I mean, all right, whatever.
Right.
I,
You know,
I think it was a stylistic choice.
But there's a reason for
Yeah.
it, though, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a reason for it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think aesthetically, it's just such a cool look. Like,
Right.
you guys remember? Remember
Tomorrowland now.
Well,
Tomorrowland of this, but now, yeah.
Men in Black, right?
Right.
Men in Black took place in latter day, but then it had that cool mod vibe to it, and
Right.
everyone loved that look. So they could retain that here. Okay, first off, 60s, it was created in the 60s.
Yeah.
This is the world it was in. But then, I mean, we know what's gonna fucking happen. We know they're gonna find some wormhole, and they're gonna end up in our
in our time, yeah.
time.
And then
That's it.
I did like that they had Herbie.
Right. I
Herbie,
love that. And it
love
looked
they have
like
Herbie.
Herbie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had
they
Herbie.
like Herbie.
And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I like the thing.
I love the
Yeah.
thing.
I like
love
the thing.
The brow. They finally got the
he's
brow right.
comics accurate, and
Eric had something to say about that one, though. You not like it?
no, I like the way he looked, but I feel
you
like
thought
with
the
the budget,
animation was off.
no, yeah, the animation was off because I don't know, like with the budget that they have, you know, I feel like the way that he talks can be a little bit more smooth.
Yeah,
Got it.
I was trying
But
to justify it.
that's just me kind of like nitpicking at
I
it,
was
though.
like, he's
but
made a rock. He doesn't. He can't have his mouth can't move too much.
yeah, but visually it does look like this, you know, the
Like the comic book thing.
Yeah.
books.
There's a
Yeah.
shot of him walking through and watching himself before he changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
and
he's
wearing
watching
the
the
trench
whole
coat
fight. Yeah.
and the hat, and I was like, "That's the fucking thing."
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Bummed
Yeah.
out that he doesn't look
Yeah.
like that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And I
I'm
like the
excited for
actor
that
I could find
too.
me a blind woman to fall in love with me.
And he does.
And he does.
And he
Spoiler
does. But yeah, and I like the actor that plays this thing.
I love
mean,
him.
that guy. If you're not watching The Bear,
The Bear.
that dude is awesome on The
Yeah,
Bear.
he is.
And that's what I was
I
saying
mean,
too. I was saying
Jesus.
that like he has a rage in him in the bear that you sympathize with, but also he has a warmth and heart to him too.
Yeah.
So that's again.
They were
another
a really
great
great cast, I think, of great actors. All of them.
I mean,
all
they've
four
all
of them have
been
great.
they all been plucked from fucking streaming services, from Mandalorian, from fucking Stranger Things. Where's that girl from? I know she's from a fucking.
not
streaming
only
show, fucking-
Mandalorian, but he was also on The Last of Us. Both
Oh,
of those
yeah,
shows are
yeah.
amazing.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere now. He's the man, the myth, the legend. He's Zaddy from a lot of two ladies out there. He's a little Zaddy out there.
He was in Game of Thrones.
Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
yeah, that's when
He
he
got
showed up.
he got smushed by the mountain.
He was on the Kingsman. He was on the Kingsman. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the Golden
Yeah.
Circle.
He was
yeah.
in that new Gladiator movie.
Oh, the Gladiator movie. He's a man right now.
Fuck
He-
this guy.
Taking all the ladies.
Yeah, you know what? I like.
He's
I know
in Corona commercials.
I know he's in Corona commercial, right?
You're tuned into Pedrotopia. So, like, we're talking about the next stage of Marvel before we move on. I just don't want to forget him. But Shang-Chi is going to come back too, right?
Yeah.
Because they
I hope
teased
so.
it too. The
I
very
hope
last
so.
thing, there's that's what was it, like a homing beacon
Yeah.
in the rings?
And
So
then
that's-
Wong comes and took him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
just
right.
saw
We're still
What
with
If
you.
season 3. First episode was actually pretty decent. Have you guys ever seen that first
I watched-
episode of season 3?
I haven't watched new season. I watched it once.
It's actually pretty cool. So just make sure I'll make it really quick. But they actually show Shang-Chi in it. It's that the Hulk got tired of being the Hulk, so he wanted to separate himself from the Hulk, and he's trying to destroy the Hulk within himself. But at the end of the day, he separates himself. So now he's Bruce Banner and the Hulk, but the Hulk starts becoming more looks like Godzilla, like almost.
Because he has no human element to keep
Yeah,
him
so
grounded.
he actually grows to a Godzilla size.
Shang-Chi fights him?
And then, well, what happens is
That's racist.
they kind of take an anime tour,
Took me a minute.
an anime turn, and since he's the Godzilla size, and he has these minions that are were created by him as well, like spawns of him, that are almost about his size, the original Avengers end up making tech. Kind of like Gundam, like tech like that.
Yeah.
So they make robots.
Yeah, that's a comic.
They look like Avengers, but they're robots.
Oh, so they had like a whole fucking kaiju episode?
So they had a kaiju episode.
Yeah.
And then...
That was actually a whole run of comics, too, the Mech Avengers.
So eventually, like, that run of Avengers ends up not all of them make it. But they were able to still take out that I guess they call them the apex of the... But then... So, but they still make more mechs, and now it's the new Avengers, and of course... Black in America. He's the Captain America of now. Shang-Chi's one of them.
Ironheart.
Moon Knight. What's her face? Monica Rambeau.
A Photon.
And who's the next one? Oh, Bucky's and part of it. And I think one more. Wait, I think it's them. They're the new Avengers that have the suits and everything like that. That have the mech. So it's pretty cool, and that was a cool episode. I was like, this is different.
Again, like
this is
there's
different.
so much going on. If they could coalesce it into another end game, then I'll be happy.
Right.
I think they're
in a good way.
I think they're going to do
it.
A video that I watch, like I'll just search for it on YouTube every once in a while, where crowd reaction of Captain America picking up Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, I watch it all the time.
I always watch that.
I watch it because just to remind myself of how I felt when I watched it.
And when you hear Falcon say on your left,
on your left, man. That's my favorite.
Did you watch a video of that?
And that score, Circles, I believe it's called Circles.
Yeah.
Score.
There's a video of that specifically what you're talking about, but and I can't find it anymore. But it's like a 3-year-old also holding a Mjolnir in front of the TV, and he's watching it, and he gets to the part where Captain America catches Mjolnir and he says Avengers, and he says assemble, and everybody goes whoa! The kid literally runs and screaming to the other room too because he goes into battle too.
I was like that.
I hope that's my son.
Those videos, those feelings, that was so fucking pure, and I was like. And it felt earned, and it made sense, and there's nothing was left hanging. So if they could do that again, they have fucking 10 years to do it.
Yeah, I think they can. I think they will. It's just that what that moment was, especially when he says "Avengers Assemble." It was 10 years in the making for us. I mean, because for those of us that have been invested in the comics for this long, it was finally, I mean, he finally said it.
All the teases after Age of Ultron and all that. Like
we've been waiting for it,
waiting for it, and we finally got
that was it. And
it wasn't just them; it was everybody, and it was
And now I think it's DC's turn to do it.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really do hope
He says
so.
this on camera, but off camera, he's like,
no, you know what? And you know what? I actually also just watched the Zack Snyder Justice League just the other day, too.
Nice.
I have a lot of time now that I work from home. But I saw that, too. And you know what? One of the things that kind of left me wanting at the end of that movie, not the whole Deathstroke thing, not the end of the credits thing, but what left me wanting was when, if you notice, the Ben Affleck Batman, he doesn't go to Wayne Manor. Wayne Manor is in ruins. He's always at that little house by the water. But at the end of that movie, they do go into Wayne Manor. He opens up a big door into like a big area, and he says, right here, he goes, we'll have a big round table with 6 seats. And then Wonder Woman comes in, she goes, but room for more.
I was
because the Justice League is huge. And I was like, yes, because we got to get everything in there.
Just to be clear, James Gunn is just...
He's wiping everything clean.
All clean.
Right.
Even Blue Beetle?
He has like a
I think Blue Beetle
7-year plan, into and
because he said he wants an end game kind of a deal, right?
Yeah. Basically. Because what DC failed to do is like when they try to capitalize on the popularity of the MCU, they tried to do the MCU formula like right away.
And that's not.
They didn't earn it.
No, you had to earn it. Yeah, and the thing is, I texted him again also. If they try to do an endgame type of thing on the DC side of it, the only thing I can think of that was as big an event as Infinity War was Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Crisis on Infinite Earths.
That's like their
Even though
events.
the Arrowverse with Flash and all that on the CW,
They made their own, right?
did it.
They did their own.
They did it.
and they did it well.
They
some
did
of
it well.
yeah.
But James Gunn could do it better.
Oh yeah, he can do it better.
He can do
for
it
sure.
better. You know,
With a bigger
so
budget.
Yeah, he has to bring it.
Yeah, he has to.
He has to get in there.
but you know what? It'll be a risk, but it's gonna be high reward because it'll work.
That's gonna work.
It'll work.
I feel like
So-
you could write it because just texted that thread yesterday. I started watching. What is it? Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos.
Commandos.
I like that show. It's really freaking good.
And it's canon for
Yeah, they caught me off
James
for the
Gunn.
first
Like,
first
I was like,
episode.
was this based on a comic? I
Yeah.
was like, it looks so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And
it's
it kind of
very
gives
fun.
you like an idea on what the tone is going to be for the DCU. You know, it's gonna
Bloody.
be raunchy, bloody, a lot of action,
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and-
think it needs, and I feel like it's a
Well,
great
no,
direction.
but remember, James Gunn is still tied to the rules of Superman, the rules of Batman. Can't kill nobody.
Yeah,
Right,
Right.
Beat the shit out of him, but just
yeah. But in this show, I mean,
but
people are
again,
dying left
yeah.
and right.
That's just their rules.
yeah.
yeah,
Saying.
yeah. It's their rule.
That's just
So
their
you've
rules.
already
Wonder Woman
finished.
could cut
No, no, I only went through episode
There's
4.
others that
Episode
will.
four.
Episode 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the first, I just went through those first 4 episodes before I fell asleep. It was like, it was awesome. I just like, oh, it's so cool. It's like awesome. And from the very beginning, it got me hooked. And just hearing some original voices. Frank Grillo is Sergeant, what's his name? Rick Flag, Senior.
I was about to say, I was like, they can get Joel Henneman or Hackerman. He was he
No, but
wasn't
he
free?
died. He died
He
in
died.
Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. Yeah, so that's what they're like. And they talk about it on the show. So that's what I like. It's canon. It works. They talk about what happened. It's really, really cool. It's a really good show. I do recommend it.
Yeah.
It's on Max, right?
It's on Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
It's on
what-
Max.
Wow.
That's where they have all the DC stuff.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun,
Superman.
dun, dun, dun.
He said something positive about the DCU.
Not
Wow.
that I never not liked it. It just always let me down, except for the
like,
Batman.
we've talked about this before.
Christopher
It's a-
Nolan
it's-
trilogy,
it's
the
a mess.
original Batman.
But even that one, the last one, I thought, yeah, you could have cut this down by 3 hours.
Oh, the one with the
Jesus Christ, the whole thing with
yeah.
the bomb is gonna go off in 6 months. What?
Or
think-
you know what part that gets me is when Ra's al Ghul's daughter is dying in the car. And they only have a minute left, and it felt like a minute that they were talking,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, I did my job." It's like, dude, the fucking bomb. Stop talking, just go.
I think
And wasn't that the worst death scene ever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like,
She's all crooked.
yeah.
I like the idea, but I checked out when it was like, oh, the Scarecrow, he's now the judge of all the courts. On top of like,
Die.
a pile of clothes and shit.
Yeah, they should have stopped with the Dark Knight Returns. That was it.
Yeah.
Again,
with the
I think
Joker.
Batman Begins is one of the better Batman movies, but that whole trilogy is very overrated for me. Like, that's my hot take.
by him.
That's my hot take.
Yeah, take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I think they should have. It shouldn't have been a trilogy. The one with
No, they
Bane.
should've done
They
Dark
should
Knight and then
stop with the Dark Knight, and that was it. And that
I don't know. I actually did like the Bane movie, but not as much as the first two. The first two were really, really good.
Yeah.
Batman Begins and
The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them were really good movies. And then, God, it's been so long since I've seen the original Superman.
Wait,
I think I was a
Christopher
kid.
Reeve Superman? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's my. Have you guys? I wanted to let you guys know. I
the
saw
documentary.
the documentary.
Before we
Superman.
go on, hey, shout out to Gene Hackman.
Shout out to Gene Hackman.
He's Lex
Rest in
Luthor is
peace.
back with Christopher Reeve up there
Up
trying to
in-
wreak havoc.
Yeah,
man.
It's rough, dude. I don't want to dive into it, but it looked like a fucking
I mean,
real shady death.
It could be like, because like they say, oh, he lives a long life. He was 95.
The dog was
But
in
the
the
way
closet,
I know,
dude.
that's what I'm saying.
the crate.
His wife
Yeah.
and his dog. I mean, first thing I thought about was CO2. What is it? Not CO2.
The carbon monoxide? Yeah.
Like maybe somebody left the stove
Yeah,
on
but
or something.
they already said that it's not. They're gonna investigate further because his wife was found on the floor with pills around her.
So it might have been like, let's do it, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the
Sounds
dog?
like
He'll be
Dog-
fucking
The
in
Last of
closet.
Us.
But no, the thing is, that dog was dead in the closet, but there's two other dogs floating around.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, what
They,
about us?
they were loose. They could get up and walk around. That's the thing. So
So I'm wondering
had
if maybe
problems.
just one dog got into the pills and not both the other dogs, or who knows?
I don't know, man. But
Yeah.
That's
sucks.
sad, but yeah, it's the shot
But-
cat Gene Hackman.
But yeah.
All right.
Moment of
God,
silence.
but never forgotten, brother.
You guys were talking about
Moment of
like, the documentary.
The
Or
document
you get-
Superman. Yeah, I saw it.
Superman.
I saw it. It's on Max.
Super
And
colon man,
look,
right?
no, slash super slash man.
Slash man.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, they'll. I wanted to see this movie because Christopher Reeve for me is Superman. That was the one I grew up with. He's Superman to me, right? But at the same time, I didn't want to see the movie. The same reason why I kind of want to see the documentary movie about Mr. Rogers with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Because I know I'll cry, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I was like,
dude,
no, I gotta see this one because Christopher Reeve.
know it, yeah.
And yeah, dude, it gets you because you're like, fuck.
It's essentially like you see him as most powerful and you see him as most
vulnerable.
Most vulnerable.
Yeah. But yet still have that strength that I want to try and move forward. I want to try and cure people's. I want to get other people walking in. I can't, but let's help. Let's start the
let's do
foundation.
this.
Let's
Yeah.
do this fundraising.
And then it gets you even more because they go after his passing, and then his wife took over that foundation, so that foundation didn't go away, and then his wife passes.
Mm-hmm. Did she have
and I was like,
cancer?
yeah, she had cancer too. I was like, damn it! And now his 3 kids took over. He has 1 kid with another lady that he never married in England, and then he came here and he met the woman he did marry, and he had 2 more kids with her.
Okay.
But they never wanted to exclude his first son. So
is he the one that's going to have a cameo in the new movie?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think
come on over.
He's the one. He's the one who's going to be, I think, a reporter.
Because he does kind of resemble.
Yeah, he looks a lot like him. Yeah.
That is
So he's gonna be a reporter in it.
really,
So I'm glad they're putting him in there because again, that was my Superman. You know, Christopher Reeve forever. He's the one who coined the phrase when he flew in Part 2 to fight General Zod, where he crossed his arms and he said, "General, care to step outside?"
Yeah.
He's the first one who did that, and then they started doing it in the comics.
Right.
Because I was like, yes. At that point, it's about to go down.
Was that your first exposure to comics, like a comic book character?
Probably.
Because it was for me.
For Superman, yeah,
Yes.
probably. Yeah, for the movie Superman. Yeah,
It's like I always knew about a Superman, but then I never read the comics. I only knew about Superman.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I knew that the comics existed, but I saw the movie before I picked up any one of the comic books. And then when I picked up any of the comic books, again in Part 2, you see that he's got so many other abilities that you've never seen before. Like he had that ability where he made like several copies of himself in one scene, and only one of them was real.
Right.
And then there was one scene where he grabbed the S off his chest and he threw it. And it was like a big old cellophane thing. I was like, what the hell? And no other Superman has done that.
You ever seen that? Yeah, I mean that joke on Family Guy.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, they've never done that again. So like, what? But again, and then General Zod had an ability. I mean, he's Kryptonian, so Superman should have it too.
Right.
But he had an ability where some guy had a shotgun pointing at him, and he just pointed his finger at him and then lifted him like telekinetically. I was like, what the? How the hell did that happen? But
movie magic.
Yeah,
movie magic.
But yeah, I mean that was my first exposure. That just kind of led me down that path.
Yeah,
You
watch a movie and then it established love for the character.
Yeah.
And then the source material, then comics, back to movies.
Yeah.
And that is what's going to lead us to our final segment.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So, as with all our 5th episodes, we always have a little competition between El Guapo and E, and some of them
friendly competition.
Yeah,
friendly competition.
Friendly.
I don't even like to call it a competition.
I know.
I mean, in the past,
I don't love for comics.
we had little comics quizzes, like little Jeopardy type games. We had one episode, we had them act out
a reading,
interpretation of a comic featuring a battle between Daredevil and Thor.
That's right.
It's fun. That was
By the way,
pretty cool.
Daredevil Born Again.
Oh yeah.
Daredevil Born Again.
I mean,
Starts in what? In a week?
March 4th.
I rewatched the trailer again. and
March
I was
4th.
Holy
that's 4 days.
shit,
No, 5 days
it's-
from now.
On March 4th, if you guys can't get a hold of me through the thread, you just let me know. I'm gonna let you know
I'm
right
not
now.
ready for it.
I'm gonna be sitting in front of my TV in my underwear.
It looks so
Today
brutal, but I can't wait,
Because
man.
I mean, I
Yep.
told you guys. Well, as soon as I found out that the bad guy was gonna be Muse, I was
4
like,
days,
"Oh
guys.
my god,
4
Muse!" Let
days.
me just tell you guys, and tell the listeners too. If you guys are not familiar with Muse, this guy is deranged. What the reason he's called Muse is because he considers himself an artist. He paints murals, but he doesn't just paint murals. He kills people and he guts them and uses the blood and entrails of his victims as the paint for the mural.
Disney Plus.
So, damn.
I mean, just
Damn.
the fact that we could get away with that in Disney Plus is fucking amazing.
Now we're
man.
starting to get. When did you think they were eventually going to be into an R-rated setting, which is now?
It has to be this one. It has to
now
be
we
this
have
one.
Hulu connected to it now, so you can see anything that's R-rated.
And I'm hoping that they do Bullseye justice,
Right.
To the point where I want Bullseye to be so good that I hate the actor who plays Bullseye, like Colin Farrell. I hate that guy because he was Bullseye, and I was like, that motherfucker tried to kill Daredevil.
Right.
I hate that guy.
Have you seen a
just
clip?
an actor, man.
I've seen a clip of. I've seen still pictures of him.
Oh, okay, but you haven't seen like the
I haven't
actual
seen a clip of Bullseye.
They showed it today.
They showed it today.
Yeah, they showed it today.
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, wait a minute. I was waiting for him to talk about it. I'm like, you haven't seen it. I'm like, you have to see it.
I haven't seen the clip of
I
it
don't know.
yet.
to see
Speaking
that.
of Daredevil, did you see the video that I did at Downtown Disney? I shout you out because they have his cowl there that you can buy.
I have a better
Disney.
cowl though.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he does.
I have a better
He just
cowl.
has to get the rest of the suit now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of the suit now that I've bottomed out. I'm gonna get the rest
no
of the suit, but yeah, I mean, this has been a long time coming. That's just
We're excited. We're gonna have a podcast. He's gonna be on 46. He has to be on 46. We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god,
again,
Daredevil is.
what you're seeing here is just again that love for the character, that love for the media.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to create a new, different type of competition. So we have our two big comic fans here.
Yes.
Who both have equal love, or maybe it's a little bit off for comics and the movies that the comics are based on. And as you've seen, that they have their loves of certain movies, their hates of certain movies, their nitpicks. That's something very distinctive to a comic nerd.
Very.
So the challenge that I had for both of them is that they have to pitch their perfect comic movie. It could be any character.
Because we know it hasn't been that perfect lately.
As close as perfect it's never been perfect. But they're each going to have a chance to pitch to me and Teardrop their perfect comic movie. It could be any character. It could be any
story, whatever they want, any time period, whatever it is.
Be any actor. And we're just going to see which is the movie.
And if Disney or DC, you guys see any of their stories, and I see it in the fucking TV, you owe them fucking money. You owe them
you gotta kick it in. All right.
Because sometimes they listen.
They
I
might be
know
like,
they fucking
you know
do. And if they fucking come up with some dope ass shit, you better pay these motherfuckers some money.
Yeah, we're gonna copyright your copyright.
Pending. And when he told us that in the text thread, and he said this is going to be your task, I said, "Oh, I've actually been thinking about this for a long time."
Yeah.
And I said, surprisingly, because I know this is more Marvel, I said, surprisingly, the one I'm thinking of is actually a DC property.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I'm like really excited to hear yours though.
Before we started, he said like when he was talking about his, he's like, I want a movie that will instill the kind of love in comics that I had.
Yeah.
So then you both have your aims. I mean, are we just going El Guapo?
No,
I go.
this way. I can do a
No.
clip.
Oh, coin flip?
I'll go first because the thing is,
I like this.
he's had his idea for a while.
Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix.
For a while.
So Deadpool meets Wolverine.
No, because he's had his idea for a while.
Okay, okay.
And when Jonas pitched the idea, that's when I started working on it. But the
Okay.
thing is, for me, what story would entice people to go watch comic book movies again?
Okay,
You know?
and what is that?
So for me, and what's the big thing about comics right now? The multiverse, right?
Well, that's what's going big right now. Yeah.
What's going on with Marvel Comics and DC Comics this year? What are they doing?
Oh, I know where this is going. Oh shit. Yeah, keep going.
What are they doing? I put it on the thread. I know that you skip over what
I
I
didn't
put
skip
on
over
there.
the thread.
Yes,
I got
you
shit to
do.
do
Yes,
sometimes.
you do. Yes, you do. You just read it, and then you become the watcher. You become the watcher because you repost shit that I would post.
It's a prism.
Okay, so
The world
basically,
is a prism.
this year, DC and Marvel are working together, and they're
Oh, never mind. Yes. yeah.
okay. So, what better way to entice more viewers, more moviegoers to go watch a comic book movie than to create a movie that involves a DC character as well as a Marvel character?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
What's
like,
your pitch?
This is my pitch. So the title would be. Let me see if you guys know the characters. Because the title would be Web of Shadows.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
Are we talking about Madam Web?
No. We don't talk about Madam Web.
No, that would be the this is the title.
It's two very big obvious guys.
Wait, say it again.
You're wearing one.
That was like,
Shadows.
Web of Shadows.
That's Spider-Man.
I know he's like on 5% right now. Okay, good. What character from DC Comics am I picking? Batman. Okay. What's there? You go.
Batman, Spider-Man,
and
yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's that's the title.
Who's it starring?
Starring, and then again, I'm just going off of the pop.
I said any actor,
excited.
living or dead.
I'm going off of people that are characters or actors that are already popular.
Okay.
That way.
Okay.
Okay. That way people will go see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Brad
No. It's characters that we've already seen before. So of course it's Christian Bale. That's
right.
Batman.
Oh,
Christian Bale, Batman.
So he's actually thinking like very
Dark. The dark.
yeah, because he
Batman.
knows like people did like that trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pull Christian Bale back in. Okay. Who's your Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire.
Oh, that's
That's what I'm going for. That's what.
Okay.
Again, this is how I would do it. It's not necessarily what's gonna. happen.
Yeah.
No, but this is how I would. do
Okay.
It. Okay. Let me see. What else did I put on here? James Gunn as the director.
James Gunn's director, of course. James Gunn.
It's called
And
Gilded
the writer.
And the writer.
And the writer. So for me, the film starts off with a cosmic event happening at New York City
Okay. New York
and
City.
Gotham City.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Gotham is actually more Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So crime rates soar, as both as
sides
villains.
are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From both universes start to team up. Oh, hold on. Where did I put it? Yeah. So crime rates soar as villains from both universes start to team up, such as the Joker and the Goblin.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a cool mix of insanity.
And then Batman investigating, the crime, the chaos, crosses paths with Spider-Man. At first they couldn't work together because they have different ideologies.
Right.
But they clash, of course, because they have different methods. But then soon they realize that they need to work together.
Okay.
They're working towards the same thing.
Yeah, they're
Right.
working towards the same thing. And then as they were trying to stop the Goblin and the Joker, Dr. Manhattan shows up.
Dr. Manhattan.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You guys can sit down.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan shows up and says, only one universe can exist.
Dr. Manhattan can be the cosmic event that makes this happen.
But as soon as hope is lost, before the movie fades, you just hear Avengers assemble in the background, and the movie ends.
So then it's leading up to like a whole DC versus MCU.
And they've had that in the comics. It's Avengers versus Justice League. Yeah.
Again, for me, this is just to get people to.
I see how it get exciting, but it's like, how can I put this? It's like, hey, do you want a Costco pizza and a hot dog and a
chicken
bake and a churro? And I'm like, of course I do.
We all work together.
So that's what I call an easy sell. Yeah, I think it's a cool idea.
I like it.
Again, this is something that I did for 20
No, but then again, it's fucking really cool.
because that's what I would do.
That is
Yeah.
really cool.
That's
I think that would bring people into the movie.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Especially
what-
because it's a
I just
crossover.
wanna
I don't
make-
like MCU. I love Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like this Christian Bale guy, but Tobey Maguire is cool.
Because I was telling Tony, I have this nephew who I've been trying to mold him into a nerd.
You did tell some disappointing news about him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he thinks that comic book movies are lame now.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
yeah, so
He's at that age, huh?
Yeah, he's at that age, and I'm just hoping that that's not the perception that
I like girls now.
It's a
nowadays
it's a
like
phase.
I
It's a
like
phase. He'll
10
come
years
out
from
of
now,
it.
he's like, hey, Uncle Eric, the fucking Batman Spider-Man movie's coming out. I'm like, Really? You're
Yeah.
excited?
Oh, yeah?
It's my idea.
God damn it.
I did this. I have it on wax.
Wax, fuck.
I know, right?
All right. So you
All
got
right.
follow up?
All right, cool. Well, my idea, like I said, because I've been thinking about this for a really long time, and it is a DC property, and it's not a crossover. It's not a crossover. But just like I have my favorite Marvel character, which would be Daredevil, and he's still my favorite of any comic book character.
Right.
I have my favorite DC character, which is a Green Lantern. Now, not Hal Jordan Green Lantern though. I have two favorite. Green Lantern, for those of you who don't know, it's a Green Lantern Corps. They're basically space cops. All right. So there's a shit ton of them. All right. My favorite Green Lanterns were not Guy Gardner, which we're going to be introduced to, or not Hal Jordan, not even Kyle Rayner, who's the most powerful of them all. My two favorites were John Stewart, which we're going to see in Lanterns. I'm glad we're going to see in Lanterns. But also Kilowog.
You heard me say Kilowog.
Yeah, also Kilowog. Kilowog has always been one of my favorite ones because
he's a monster.
He's a big monster
Didn't
guy.
we talk about it when we talked about the Lantern Corps?
Probably.
A couple of
Yeah,
like
probably.
25 episode
Yeah.
25.
Kilowog,
We did.
yeah.
We went through it all.
Kilowog is my one of my favorite lanterns.
Yeah.
For sure. And what I would want to see is, now that they're going to do this Lanterns show, it may be easier. I guess it would be kind of a spin-off, but I would want to see kind of like a police drama, because that's what they are, space cops.
Right.
But I want to see Kilowog's part of it, because Kilowog is not just a lantern, but he's also the combat trainer for all of these guys. So he's very experienced in any of this.
So are we talking about maybe, because I'm going to throw some shows out to you. Like SWAT, like Blue Bloods,
Yeah, like
Rookie,
like
a
SWAT.
little bit like
Yeah,
that.
like
Police
that.
Procedural with Green Lanterns?
With lanterns, yes, but then the same enemies that they usually fight in the comics. For example, you have to have Sinestro and a Sinestro Corps. Sinestro Corps could be your villains that are out there, causing havoc or whatever. Maybe even throw in the other lanterns here and there, which are like the Rage lanterns, the red ones, or the one Avarice lantern, the orange one. You can also have the other good ones, which would be the blue ones, which is Hope.
So they team up with them somehow. They need the help from them.
The blue lanterns, in order for the blue lanterns to be more powerful, is they have to be standing next to a Green Lantern. So Hope gets stronger with will. Is that kind of thing.
Let's get some brass tacks. Who's your cast?
For me, Kilowog. Again, and we've said this before, the first time I was on the show, that's one of the things that me and E bonded on.
Yeah.
I actually liked the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. I liked it.
Me too.
All right. And Michael Clark Duncan was the voice of Kilowog then. And
shout out to that boy right
I
there.
cannot hear anybody else's voice coming out of Kilowog except for Michael Clark Duncan. So I'd love to hear Michael Clark Duncan voice Kilowog. Just to be that again and see that part of it and how he handles things different than like a human, like Hal Jordan would, or anything like that. We have to be able to see. Every lantern has a different method and a different way they do things, and the constructs that Hal Jordan, for example, that he makes a saw, he makes a machine gun. They're earth-based things.
Yeah.
This guy has different things we've never seen.
Right.
So how do we know what he can come up with in his mind? Things that could look like a weapon, but it's actually an animal kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And who knows? But I've always liked Kilowog because he's also just like John Stewart. John Stewart is a Marine.
Okay.
Who
John Stewart.
For me, John Stewart, Michael J. White.
Oh, okay.
Michael J. White. Spawn. Yeah, Michael J. White. Because,
like that.
and again, because Michael J. White played Spawn, where Spawn was again a Marine, Special Forces. He did a really good doing that before he got toasted. I would like to see Michael J. White as John Stewart and Michael Clark Duncan as Kilowog. So that's what I like to see. And again, kind of like a police drama, but in space, and with the Sinestro Corps. And like I said, bring in the other lanterns as well. Again, you can bring in the Sapphires, the Star Sapphires, but they're kind of wild cards because Star Sapphires sometimes are good, sometimes they're bitches.
Yeah.
So
Who's gonna be your Carol Ferris?
Ooh, man. that was a hard one because I don't know if I can pick somebody current for Carol Ferris. I'd have to.
I said it's the dream. It's like all ages. It can be living or dead.
Man,
is it Michael Duncan dead?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
So
but
the
yeah,
AI is worse.
because like I didn't like Blake Lively as Carol Ferris.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't like Blake Lively as her.
But hey, they love bloomed.
But yeah, that's where that happened.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody who is established as an ass kicker a little bit because she's the leader of the Star Sapphires.
Right.
So I wouldn't mind seeing like Anne Hathaway, for example, because she was a good Catwoman and she she can do that.
Great,
Pretty, but she has to be
yeah.
All right, Jonas.
So yeah, I would
back to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing her there. And like I said, eventually, if that police drama, if you do introduce the other colors of the lanterns, if you eventually lead into Brightest Day where they're all fighting, that'd be cool. And I mean, that would be like my motivation also to learn the oath of all the lanterns, because I only know the Green Lantern oath. I don't know. Every single lantern has their own oath.
Can we both do it together?
The Green Lantern oath?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Do we need a lantern? We don't have a lantern.
No, let's just do it.
Here's this.
Right here. Right there, look. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Oh, God, yes. Somehow we've gotten pussy. Somehow.
I don't know how I became a father.
So now the verdict. All right.
No, wait. Before you we continue, my Carol Ferris would be Linda Carter.
Oh, I was thinking Linda Carter. I was thinking Linda Carter too, but I was like, but no, she's Wonder Woman.
Where did I see her? Did I see her like on an SNL skit or something recently? But she's
probably
hot. She's still hot.
She played the president in Wonder Woman.
Not
Wonder Woman. Sorry, Supergirl on CW. She played the president.
Yeah. All right. So verdict. Here's all I'll say, and we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Ease, you're definitely the more marketable one. It's the more like that will get butts in seats. It'll make $1 billion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be any good, but hey, that's going to bring in the money.
Yeah. But what I will say, it will never happen.
Yeah, it will
never happen for a million years.
There's more percentage of things going that way than this way.
Fucking egos. You're talking about profit shares. They will never there will never be a time where MCU or Disney and then DCU and Warner Brothers will be like, hey, you know what? We'll split this even. We'll make $1 billion and you get $500 million. I'll get $500 million.
Right, because it already takes a lot for both comic companies to work together. When was the last time that they worked together? It was like over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's just the comic part of it.
Yeah. And how hard was it for Marvel to get Spider-Man back from Sony?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, so they can't even.
And they still don't even have the Hulk back from Universal.
Nope.
Now, El Guapos, it's plausible, but it is a hard sell.
Yeah.
Because the thing about
it's more obscure.
The thing about Green Lantern is that, and this is what, again, hopefully that James Gunn will fix, is that it's so rife to be its own universe. There's so much depth and so many interesting characters.
So much lore to that side of things, for sure.
I mean, even the more well-known Green Lanterns, the Kyle Rayner, the Hal Jordans, etc., right? They're already so rich, and then we're going to go even deeper.
Right.
So his is definitely more plausible, but his is more marketable. But ultimately, I want to watch the DC or MCU movie. But see, that again, the reason for that is because there's been no push for Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So maybe if James Gunn gets together and Green Lantern goes on his own direction, we're going to see this movie, and then I'm going to want to watch it.
And again, because I'm hoping the Lanterns, because it's supposed to be a show, not
it's supposed to be a show. Yeah.
I hope it makes it and it sends it to a direction where they do make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
And they feel like it needs that. It needs it. It needs it, and it deserves it.
I mean, we were talking about this a little about the last battle. Remember when we did the lineup, the Marvel versus MCU versus DC?
Yeah.
And then they were talking specifically about Green Lantern, about his powers. And it's, even in the Ryan Reynolds movie, those powers are fun to watch.
Yeah.
You can do anything you can think of. Anything you can think of with that ring. And it's just... Man. it's just super cool.
Unless I hold a lemon at it.
Well,
then I win.
That's Alan Scott. That's Alan Scott. So, but the other lanterns, like the Rage lanterns, their constructs are a little bit more brutal, I guess you can say. They're like
Their style.
Their style because it's Rage. And the pop figure that I got, like I said, for E, that's the one from the story arc of Brightest Day, because other characters, other DC characters become lanterns in order to be able to fight this war against death. And Hal Jordan becomes a Red Lantern because of the rage inside him. He eventually becomes the Spectre, which is a different thing. But you got Batman, who I think also becomes I think he becomes a Yellow Lantern because it's fear.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's fear. You got the Flash, who becomes a Blue Lantern because of hope. And then you got Wonder Woman, who becomes a Star Sapphire because of love.
So
Linda Carter.
Yeah, Linda Carter.
Yeah,
so
if imagine that if James and DC was like, that's my plan. My plan is to make it to open up the Green Lantern universe because we can bring all the characters into it. I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to happen for
But I can see
years.
because I don't know about you, but I do like some of those cop shows. Like I like The Rookie. I like things like that.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be a fun movie.
I can see it and find a direction where it's like, okay, season 1, we get introduced to the core and who they are and who they're with and what's going on, and then we might get maybe somebody from the Red Lanterns that's part of the core, the Sinestro core, but it's like, one of the peons. But then it's tied to a bigger. Then we get season 2. You know what I mean? Like we catch that guy, but he's just a little bit of the bigger organization.
Well, again, what you're saying is what might happen in the show.
I can see it work.
Remember, this is just
no. I can see it work
movie.
though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like I can see the direction he's trying to like go with his, and I like his.
So it might happen. I mean, the Lantern show might take off, and then James Gunn picks up on it and says, "Let's start doing this with more money."
And now he has a little more money. I think he has a lot more pull too.
Yeah,
especially like with such a great.
That's why
he's saying a lot of good things with Creature Commandos.
That's why he's hiring all his guys.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Then I guess that's it. If you guys want to see this Green Lanterns movie, then watch Lanterns.
That's the
first step.
I'm gonna be there because again, it's Jon Stewart. So I was like, I like Jon Stewart.
What do you think of that casting?
I like that guy. That guy that they got for Jon Stewart. I forget his name right now. But
Kyle Chandler.
He's already got no. That's Hal Jordan. I'm talking about Jon Stewart. That guy's already got green eyes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I mean,
he's already working it.
He's British, but whatever, whatever. But and then
he's an actor.
His voice again, but because I'm thinking Michael J. White again, his voice to me needs to be a little deeper.
Yeah,
he's
Mufasa, right?
I think he is Mufasa.
Then his voice will get deep.
But I mean, but for Jon Stewart, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we didn't like the casting of the Joker back in The Dark Knight, and look what Heath Ledger did with that. You never know. This guy could rock it. So we'll see. But I like him, Jon Stewart, because Jon Stewart is more like. I'm not going to compare him to the Punisher, but Cal Jordan would be like the Captain America version of the Green Lanterns, where he's like, no, we got to do the right thing, justice kind of thing. Jon Stewart's like, fuck that, we're killing this dude. So that's why I like Jon Stewart, because he's no nonsense. He will fuck shit up.
He's a gang. He cleaned up his life and went to the military, but he's still a gangster. Just like all those black people.
Because he will fuck shit up.
I'm sorry.
Canceled again.
It's the last day of Black History Month.
There you go.
Okay.
Am I canceled for saying that black people kick ass?
No,
there you go.
Because they're all gang members.
I said Black in America. You saying
Black in America.
Kid Jonas. You got that shit in my head.
So episode 45.
Oh, 45, guys. I want to give a shout out to, again, it's our 5th Beatle over here. Hey, Guapo.
Fourth Beatle.
Our 4th, 5th Beatle.
He's really gone.
He needs more Dutch Brothers coffee.
I'm almost there too.
I know.
They have to be long.
Shout out to Jonas. Shout out to Variant or Mystic E over here. Everybody, you guys started watching again and asking when the podcast is. This is our 2nd podcast of the year. Where the fuck you at?
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Okay.
Damn, you're getting a little aggressive.
The biggest thank you to Teardrop, El Capitan. He makes sure
we're here.
that these podcasts, these videos are well edited, pretty, posted,
and we get to nerd out with our friends.
And we didn't get him a gift this year.
It's okay. He don't deserve
I get the gift of French.
All right, guys.
All right.
And as we say at the end of every episode, trash it! We'll see y'all later. I didn't fuck up this time. Bye, guys.
You fucker sport.
Be sure to bring your death certificate.